Florence, it's good to see you again. State your full name and the class you'll be teaching, please.
Florence Olufunke Afolabi, that's my name. My code
Okay.
is 007FA. I'm going to be teaching catering craft practice, SS2.
Okay. Your question, please, for yourself.
The subject is...
Catering craft practice.
That's the topic.
That's the subject.
Okay, the topic.
Flour.
Okay.
The objective for today?
Okay, by the end of the lesson, the students should be able to list at least 5 types of flour, then state down the dishes that can be made with those flours.
Okay, if you start your time and get your slides, we will get to it. From the right of the board. Okay, no, it's there already. Just press reset
Okay.
and then press start. And we're in session.
All right, welcome to class again. It's good to see you all. How are you today? How's the family?
Fine, thank you.
Now, today we are going to be looking at a very special ingredient that is a staple food in many, many kitchens all over the world. Now, every home, every kitchen usually have the staple food. And it is a very, very interesting staple food for that. Now, before I continue, may I ask what your favorite snack is? Please tell me what is your favorite snack?
I like biscuits.
You like biscuits? Wow, that is wonderful. And then can you tell me the major ingredients, the chief ingredients in making biscuits? You know, when you talk about biscuit, there is a chief ingredient. You can't substitute that particular ingredient with any other thing.
Flour.
Good, that is good, flour. Now, can you tell me, Steve, can you tell me your own favorite snack too, your favorite snack?
Fish pie.
Fish pie, lovely, I love fish pie too. Now, what is the major ingredient, the chief ingredient in making fish pie?
Fish.
Fish.
Plus the pastry that goes around it, I like it.
Okay, yeah, fish is one of the major ingredients, but you cannot do fish pie without flour, so I'll go with flour.
I totally agree.
Now, what is your favorite
Mine is chicken pie.
chicken pie? Now, if I ask you to, you might probably tell me that chicken is the major ingredient, but then I'll still tell you again that you cannot do chicken pie without flour. Now, flour is the chief ingredient for all these things. We use them at home, we use them in the kitchen. Now, before I continue, I will need you to think about other dishes that you can make a flour, apart from the one you've mentioned earlier. You give me 2 dishes each that can be made with flour. All right, can you tell me what other ingredients, what other dish?
Pizza.
Yes, pizza, that's wonderful. Yes.
I don't.
Okay.
Cake.
Yes, cake, that is lovely. Now, to define flour, flour is a powder substance or powdery substance, or flour is a powder made by grinding grains, nuts, and seed. Now, note the key word, powder. Every flour comes in form of powder or a powdery substance. Now, going to the different types of flour that we have. We have so many different types of flour. We have the ones. Now, we have beans flour. We are familiar with that. We have corn flour. We have bread flour. We have cake flour. Bread flour used for making bread. Cake flour used for making cake. We have pastry flour used for making different types of pastries, and yam flour used for making our regular amala in the house. Now, students, gather out here. You need to feel the texture. Get your hands washed and feel the texture of this types of flour. Here we have yam flour, we have corn flour, we have all-purpose flour, and beans flour. You need to get the texture and even smell it to be able to familiarize yourself with the different types of flour that we have. Now, with the knowledge that we have had on our food commodities, by now, when you know what flour is, you should be able to tell me or be able to identify different types of food. So quickly, we'll do this simple exercise. You tell me, you just pick from these the different types of food and the flour that we have there. Now, those are not clear enough, and that is why I brought this to assist us. This is the first one. Can you identify this food?
Is that cake? I'm not too sure. Is that cake?
No, it is not.
Is that amala?
Yes, that's perfect.
Oh, we got it.
Amala. Now, amala is made from what? You pick what is made from here and then stick it beside it.
Okay, the top picture is different from the bottom picture. Gotcha.
Good. Now, the second one. This is the second one here. It's clearly here.
I think we're there.
Yes.
Cake.
Yes. Good.
Yam,
Good.
cake,
now,
bread.
The third one, we can see that one is
I have finished. Conscientious students.
clear. Wow. You got it so right.
Well, once I could
You did well.
define amala from cake, yes, I could. Thank you very much, Florence. We're going to start off with Dr. Christie on this occasion.
Florence, well done.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful job you have done. The instructional materials, maybe I think you got to know that these were not clear. So, because I was struggling with which one is this, which one is that. But thank God you brought out a substitute. Thank you. When you asked me a question, I was almost asking myself that, do we make any dish with flour?
Ah.
So,
Even semo that we eat is made from flour.
Yeah.
Many of our dishes.
Wheat flour.
Yeah.
What do we call it nowadays?
All-purpose flour is wheat flour. All-purpose flour is also an example of a type of flour. And
then, is it flour or flour? So
flour.
Flour.
Yeah.
okay.
Flour would be French for flour.
I got that mixed up.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Dr. Christie. Mrs. Arope.
Okay. Ms. Florence, thank you again. I'm impressed by your thinking about how to get the attention of your students. You've got something visual, you've got something tactile. You said come and feel the texture. And there's lots for them to hear. And obviously you know what you're talking about. So I like the fact that you packed in, different components for the different types of learners in your classroom. Well done for that. I'm a little bit confused concerning the content exactly. Looking at the way you've classified the different types, I don't know if it's a Nigerian curriculum thing, but some of them speak to the source of the flour, like
yam flour,
corn flour. But then other types simply talk about what they can make, like bread flour. Is that?
Yes.
Why are you not classifying them in the same way?
I couldn't classify because that might be, I need more time to be able to get my learners to understand. If it were for other purposes, I would have, there are so many other types of flour apart from these ones that I brought out. But time won't just permit me to start explaining all of them. Now, the thing between those ones are, we have all-purpose flour, and we have wheat flour. Now, under wheat flour, we have so many different types of flour under wheat flour. Now, when we are talking about yam flour, we are talking about beans flour, they are categorized under non-wheat flour. So all-purpose flour, pastry flour, bread flour, cake flour are all under wheat flour.
So, but maybe one of the categories should have been wheat.
Wheat and non-wheat flour. That is the major umbrella of all these types of flour.
So wouldn't those be key, in every subject we have key concepts. So what you're saying now Would that not be a key concept,
would.
a starting point?
It should.
Okay.
It should.
But I mean, I admire the amount of knowledge that you have. Most people have to keep going to the slide, but you didn't really have to check. You were speaking from residual knowledge. So well done. Well done.
Thank you, Miss Sophie. I loved the starter. Kept us active while you were writing on the board. But more importantly than that, it spoke to the heart of the lesson. And it was a big question, simple question, but what's your favorite snack? Because you see, everyone can connect to this. We all eat, yes, more or less. You can find it some other ways, but we all eat, and then you're connecting to that. And that just opened up the lesson. And then you brought some nice, visual material for us to label, matching exercise towards the end, something to feel, pictures to look at. So all in all, it's something we can find relatable because, yes, again, it's about food. So your subject is helping you here, and you went about it in a nice way that I think within 5 minutes you've covered so much. And again, I've just simply been a genuine learner in your class. So thank you very much. The only thing I could have probably said is, should we have been linking? So once you mentioned this, yeah, should we have been mentioning some more? I know you mentioned amala at one time, especially when I said, is that cake? You said, no, it's amala. So, but should we have been mentioning more like pap, like ogi? What's it called in your own community? Was there a way we could have brought that into the lesson is all I'm asking.
There are no types of flour. We don't use flour for all those
Ogi.
ogi.
But you see, when you say corn flour, most people use...
It's not a powdery substance.
Yes, corn flour is made from, it's processed from corn naturally, but then...
But it's a powder.
Yes, it is a powder.
Or rather than ogi, which is wet, when it's in the raw form, okay.
So this one would not give us pap. It's been processed.
Some people use this as pap.
Maybe
Well, that's true in the supermarkets.
Yeah,
this corn flour is different from the flour for pap. This has been processed a little bit differently.
Yeah, you think
This is used for like syrup or
yes, or to
something
mix.
like
Oh, okay.
When we talk about cake flour now, for example,
To
you have
thicken.
to mix to improvise on your own. If you do not have a cake flour, you can remove 10% from all-purpose flour. All-purpose flour is generally used one. When you go to the market, you want to buy flour, they give you all-purpose flour, except you are specific about the type of flour that you want.
So she knows her
So
stuff.
now,
Yeah,
if
she
you are
does.
talking about cake flour, for example, and then you have all-purpose flour, but you need to get cake flour because you need to make it lighter. That's the essence of using cake flour. All-purpose flour works well for cake making too, but when you use cake flour, it makes it a lot lighter and then fluffier. So we use corn flour mixed with all-purpose flour, and that will automatically give us cake flour. So majority of the time, this corn flour is used as a substitute, not.
No, I hear
on
you.
its own.
I hear you. But do you know they make some of these things as powder now, which is your ogi. They make some of it as powder. Even your beans flour, because normally we would grind, but now that there's
That's what we had this in the house.
beans.
We use bean flour to make akara.
So yeah, it's just worthwhile mentioning the things that they eat on an everyday basis and the names they would call it. So thank you very much. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you.